How did the Pashupatinath temple end up with a cremation ground? In ancient times, Nepal was part of India. When Hinduism began to take root, the influence of Buddhism diminished, eventually being entirely replaced by Hinduism. In the Nepalese capital, Kathmandu, stands the largest Hindu temple in the area, the famous Pashupatinath temple. No one knows exactly when the temple was established, but it has a profound connection with Shiva, one of the three major deities of Hinduism. Shiva, a rebellious deity, resided in a palace on Mount Kailash. Over time, he grew weary of his celestial abode and wished to settle in the valleys below. Transforming into Pashupati, the lord of creatures, he took refuge in a valley. However, other gods soon discovered Shiva's whereabouts and implored him to return to the heavens, reminding him of his divine responsibilities. Annoyed by their nagging, Shiva transformed into a mighty stag and swiftly escaped their sight. Unable to capture him, the gods sought the help of another deity, Vishnu. Possessing immense power, Vishnu quickly caught up with the stag. Stretching out his arms like colossal iron pillars from the azure sky, Vishnu descended upon the stag. With hands resembling two towering mountains, Vishnu seized the stag by its antlers, shattering them into pieces. Shiva regained his divine form, but instead of lingering, he slipped away again, as light as a feather carried away by the wind. As a reminder of Shiva's lesson, Vishnu fashioned the broken antlers into a trident and built a temple on the banks of the Bagmati river, the precursor to the Pashupatinath temple. Unhappy with this reminder of his defeat, Shiva used his divine power to hasten the temple's collapse, causing clouds of yellow sand to gradually bury its walls. Decades later, the Pashupatinath temple was successfully buried under mounds of earth, with its existence unknown to anyone. One day, a shepherd grazing his cows unknowingly stood upon the ruins of the temple. Vishnu, chanting a spell, caused one of the cows to continuously spill its milk onto the barren ground. Distressed by the sight, the shepherd rushed to milk the cow. As he did, he noticed a section of the ground wet with milk, revealing a fragment of a roof. Curiosity piqued, he began to dig, eventually uncovering the legendary relic, the trident made from the stag's antlers. Upon this discovery, people rebuilt a new temple on the ruins. Enraged once again, Shiva contemplated destroying the temple. Vishnu intervened by sending dreams to the people, instructing them to not only worship Shiva in the Pashupatinath temple but also cremate the dead within its premises, scattering the ashes into the Bagmati river. This way, the souls of the deceased would be liberated from their earthly bonds, crossing the Ganges to ascend to heaven. Thus, the Pashupatinath temple became a sacred place, and Shiva dared not destroy it. The people followed Vishnu's instructions, establishing a cremation ground within the temple. Consequently, Shiva relented, and the Pashupatinath temple has served as Nepal's cremation ground for over 1,000 years, remaining a marvel where worship and cremation intertwine.